box. I am pro-life, I am pro-gun, I am pro-Trump, I am pro-police, I am pro-military. I'm for small taxes, I'm for small government. The list could go on and on and on. That's where we are, that's where our campaign is, and I'm not just saying it. I have a track record of life of being all those things. And so that's why we're running. We're running for Democrats and Republicans because New Jersey families through party lines are being crushed under Phil Murphy. Phil Murphy does not believe in the things that we believe in our campaign. And because we're traveling the state, running up and down and side to side, the message that we're bringing to New Jersey families is gaining bipartisan support. We have Democrats that support us. We have Democrats that say, give me yard signs. I can't vote for you on June 8th, but I want you to win on June 8th so I can vote for you in November. They are donating to our campaign. We are gaining a lot of steam. And you may say, well, how does that happen as a right-wing conservative? Well, you're going to hear the message that I'm sharing up and down the state. You're going to hear the things that we're running on. No, they're not traditional red blank GOP talking points. They are for New Jersey families, and we are fighting for the New Jersey family ABCs: family autonomy, family business, and family core values. These are the things that are under attack in New Jersey. When it comes to family autonomy, Phil Murphy doesn't believe in your front door, and he doesn't believe in my front door. They are coming after our children. They're coming after our kids in the area of education. My wife and I, we have 4 teenagers that were raised here in New Jersey. As an 80s kid, my sister and I, we learned some things about life and social issues at the kitchen table. Those things are no longer being taught at the kitchen table. They're being taught at the classroom desk, okay? And those things don't belong in a classroom at all. We are abandoning education for indoctrination because Phil Murphy has declared New Jersey families are not just woke enough in order to teach their kids, and they're giving them this hyper progressivism and giving them their agenda, and our kids are falling behind in reading, writing, and arithmetic. Not to mention that they've completely hijacked our schools by demanding that they are not in school and wearing masks and all this other nonsense. 90 degrees, these kids are outside on a playground, 90 degrees with masks on. Phil Murphy is taking control of our children's education, and he's taking control of our medical freedom. He's not for family autonomy. He doesn't think parents are smart enough to educate their kids on social issues, and he doesn't think they're smart enough to make medical decisions for themselves. That is why we are going to end up with a mandated vaccine for coronavirus. I'm telling you right now, our kids are not going back to school without a mandated coronavirus vaccine. How do I know that's true? Well, because they already tried to pull that nonsense 15 months ago with the flu vaccine, and that predates all this corona madness that's going on. And so they're not going to go back without a vaccine. Now, I might be wrong about that, but I don't think I am, because I'm seeing the trend and how fast it's coming. And even in the universities, they're now mandating 18, 19, and 20-year-olds getting the vaccine, but they're not mandating it for the elderly staff and faculty. There's no science behind that whatsoever. It's an agenda to make sure that parents no longer have control over their kids' education, over their medical freedom. My kids don't have anywhere near the recommended doses of vaccines, but they have more than 0. You know why? Because I'm their father, Jennifer's their mother, and we have had the liberty to decide what gets injected into their bodies. But there's another generation, there's another generation coming up right behind us that is not going to have that same liberty, because Phil Murphy doesn't believe in family autonomy. It goes as far as discipline now. Recreational marijuana overwhelmingly passed on the ballot in November. As a former pastor, I will spare you my opinion of recreational marijuana. You fill in the blanks as you see fit, okay? But my issue isn't so much with the recreational marijuana as much as it is with the way the bill was crafted. It was crafted in such a way that if my 13-year-old son is caught in my town smoking weed or drinking alcohol, how that got in the recreational marijuana bill, I have no idea. If he gets caught smoking weed or drinking alcohol, when the police pick him up and bring him home to my house and say, sorry, Mr. Rizzo, yeah, he was smoking weed in the park or drinking alcohol, it's a 3rd-degree felony on the police officer, not my kid. For informing parents about their children breaking the law. Listen, people freaked out about that. It's coming out of the bill, as well it should. But Bill Murphy has already laid his cards on the table. We know where he stands on family autonomy. He doesn't believe in it. He thinks the government knows best, and he's taking our rights as parents away from us. He doesn't believe in family autonomy, and he certainly doesn't believe in family business. 1/3 of all small businesses in New Jersey are gone. 1/3 in a year, gone. How does something like that happen? Well, I'll tell you, there's a tyrant in Trenton with an iron fist and a ballpoint pen who unilaterally decided who was going to be a financial winner and who was going to be a financial loser, simply by declaring who is essential and who is not essential. Just like that, 1/3 of all small businesses in New Jersey gone because he closed their doors. That's affected our family. That's affected our ministry. As I said, I have a construction company. Because of most of our work is residential, we were deemed essential, that we needed to be able to provide housing and finish projects where a bathroom was torn apart. You gotta finish it. So we were essential. My business was relatively unaffected. But our church in Hudson County, along with the entire faith community in New Jersey, by the way, was deemed non-essential, closed. The front door of our church was to be bolted shut, closed. You know why? Simply because of this. The sign above the front door says City Baptist Church, but it would have been open for business if the sign over the front door said City Liquors. Right? That's how I knew this follow the science was nothing but political science. And before the ink was even dry on that executive order, I knew that I was never going to follow it. We never canceled one in-person church service. We never mandated masks. We never demanded social distancing. And we never limited capacity in our church building whatsoever. We met straight through the entire lockdown. But I'm not crazy, so I added live streaming. Because I knew people were going to be afraid. I knew some people were going to be afraid. And they could watch church from home. They could come to church with a mask. Or they could come to church without a mask. Sounds like liberty to me. Sounds like freedom to me. And I'll tell you, as a governor, I would run the state the exact same way. Because I don't believe that it's the government's job to keep us healthy. I believe it's the government's job to keep us free. But Phil Murphy doesn't believe that. Your health is between you and your doctor. But the arrogance of Phil Murphy to think that he knows everything about every business and he demanded them closed. Our church was closed. This restaurant closed. Walmart's open. That's sickening. That's disgusting. And we would never, ever lock down the state like that. You know why? Because not only do I believe in family autonomy, but I believe in family businesses. And business owners should have the autonomy and the liberty and the freedom and the authority to make decisions for their livelihood. It's not up to the governor to decide who's essential or not essential. If you put food on your table by the job that you work, you are essential. And this is under attack in New Jersey. Autonomy, business, and core values. We have some core values in America. Our founding fathers made sure they were in our founding documents. They said that we hold these truths to be self-evident, right? That means any 5-year-old could understand them. They are self-evident. They don't need any explanation. They've been given to us by God. They cannot be taken away. And they are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And you know why they put life first? Because liberty and the pursuit of happiness are irrelevant if you're dead. Life is a core value. It's a core value in America, and it's a core value in New Jersey. And listen, Phil Murphy does not believe in the core value of life. And I'm not just talking about the 8,000 plus he killed with egregious and neglectful bad COVID policy by sending sick, positive COVID patients into our senior citizen homes and our veteran homes, killing 8,000 plus. But I'm talking about the unborn too. Phil Murphy doesn't value the life of the elderly, and he doesn't value the life of the unborn. He has a crown jewel piece of legislation making its way through Trenton right now. And if it lands on his desk, he's gonna sign it. It's called the Reproductive Freedom Act. And the bill says this: basically, a woman can terminate a pregnancy at any time for any reason. Any time for any reason. And when I say anytime, we don't need a dictionary for that either. My wife and I, we have 4 kids. We've been through the birthing process. We know something about it. Jennifer more than me, but I was there. And, you know. But I'll tell you, our 4th child is adopted from San Antonio. And his birth mom chose life. And I'm so glad that she did. And when he was 4 months old, she made the decision, I can't raise this little boy on my own. And she put him up for adoption at 4 months old, and I'm glad that she did, because God used adoption in the Rizzo family to round out our home exactly the way that he wanted it. And I'm glad that she chose life. But when the bill says that a woman can terminate a pregnancy at any time, for any reason, it means just that. Like, after the woman's water breaks and the baby's coming and she's pushing, she can have that moment of saying, I can't raise this baby alone. And right there, that baby's life can be taken. And you're all gonna pay for it because it's a taxpayer-funded procedure. The bill goes on to say this, that a woman can terminate a pregnancy at any time, for any reason, regardless of domicile. It means she doesn't even need to live in New Jersey. She could be from Ohio, or Oregon, or Mexico, or Italy, or Russia. It doesn't matter. Any pregnant woman on planet Earth that does not want to birth a child can come to New Jersey and you all pay the bill. Listen, that's an attack on our core values. You don't even have to be pro-life to be against something like that. That's a long way away from what Bill Clinton called safe and rare, okay? It's an attack on our core values. This is the message that we are bringing to New Jersey. This is the message that's gaining bipartisan support. You know why? Because when we talk about family autonomy and kids being in school and the education being a mess, Democrats have kids that have been out of school and in masks in school for 14 months, and their anxiety and their depression is skyrocketing. That's not red or blue. That's New Jersey families. Democrats have small businesses, including restaurants, and their whole livelihoods are being crushed. That's not red or blue. That's New Jersey families. This is the message that we're sharing, and as a husband and a father and a business owner and a pastor, we are personally affected by this. And I'm not only fighting for our family, but I'm fighting for all New Jersey families, the New Jersey family ABCs. Thank you very much for your time.